Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Pisces rising, or if you have significant Pisces placements in your chart and are needing a neutral energy to help balance masculine and feminine energies within yourself. Or if you're just feeling called to this reading for whatever reason, then there may be a message in here for you. So Pisces, first of all, there's a very strong Scorpio energy in your reading today. So the Scorpio moon reading that I did yesterday might be relevant to you. I'll link it above, just in case you're interested in it. It could also just be talking about like death and rebirth cycles, right? So you may be it feels like you are leaving something behind is what this is feeling like, and going into like a rebirth cycle. But I feel like there's just kind of like a little bit of maybe like cleaning up some vibrations that are still sort of lingering is kind of what's coming through here. So you have at the bottom of the deck this broom card, which says new home, new attitude. And that's why I'm saying this sort of like cleaning up something from the past, perhaps, or just like having it takes because it feels like you're kind of like going into something new, right? The rebirth energy. But it feels like sometimes that takes a bit of effort in terms of like actually focusing and concentrating your energy on the new attitude or the new thing that you're going into. And then you have here this rebellion card, which is really interesting. And then at the bottom of the deck, you have Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups, which is so lovely. Because I feel like this is the new start, right? It's just kind of like there's energies from the past or whatever it is that you've left behind that is just needs to be cleaned up a little bit, is kind of how it's coming through. Or that it's still lingering, because it's kind of like before your reading, I was getting a lot of downloads about like devil energy versus lover's energy, right? The difference between those. So, but the devil energy didn't actually come out in your spread today. So I feel like you've actually worked through that already, is kind of how it's feeling. But it may be coming back because in the spread you have this apple card which says temptation will test you, where it's like there's an energy here that's trying to pull you back into a past energy that you've already left behind, is what's coming through. So that's the overall context. The first couple cards are in your spread. You have here the bull card, which says do not back down from opposition, so show strength and fortitude. Show strength and fortitude, because it feels kind of like, for you Pisces, you're starting off here with the Tower and the Three of Wands. So I'm seeing you as having turned your back on some situation here with the Tower, whatever that represents for you. So it could be that you left a situation and it caused perhaps a Tower moment for somebody else, or doesn't necessarily have to be somebody. It could just be the situation. It's like without your energy in this space, something sort of fell apart, or it just feels like walking away from something, whatever that is for you Pisces. It could be a whole range of things, right? It could be like you left a job, right? And it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe there's something here about there's somebody here who is struggling, is what this is feeling like. It's kind of like there's somebody here who's struggling because of your choice to walk away from whatever this energy was, right? For whatever reason. Because I feel like for you Pisces, it's coming out here with the Three of Wands and the Ace of Wands, where it's like, I feel like you left whatever this situation was because of this new beginning, because you have 3 aces in your spread today. The Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and this Ace of Wands. So new inspiration, new love, new beginning, right? Something like that, that you made a choice to go towards this energy, right? And because of that, like, and it has like 3 wands, right? Like, it's like perhaps you're manifesting something, and it's like in this process of manifestation, you had to leave behind something else, right? It's like there's something here about, with the enthusiasm, I see this as being sort of like well, especially with this Ace of Wands, right? It comes through with inspiration, but it feels also like a new chapter, right? A new chapter of your life with this enthusiasm that brings so much joy and happiness and like love and new beginnings and a new home, a new attitude, that kind of thing. And so the guidance here is actually to don't back down, like keep going. You're going in the right direction. But I feel like there's kind of like this energy here where it's like whatever it is that you have left behind, it's almost like it's trying to tempt you back, is kind of what's coming through here, because of the cards that we have out next. So you have April and the Flattery card, which is really interesting. So this April card comes in with a bit of a story, but I'll just go through some of these cards first. So flattery and extremism. So this is the Scorpio energy, right? It's kind of coming through with like trying to move forward, but it's almost like this one is placing themselves in your path, is what this is feeling like. Like, because so if it's a person, or it could just be like an energy or a pattern, right? Like like whatever it is that you've left behind. It could be like an addiction. It could be whatever. It's like it's coming into your path in some way. Like you're gonna come across it in some way because of this energy, right? It's coming through as being like, so first of all, the apple, which says temptation, and then it says the bear, which is danger, especially in money matters. And what came out under the bear is this horseshoe, which says good luck. So a couple of things. This good luck came out in yesterday's Scorpio reading, so it might be tied to that in some way. There's a couple of different ways in which this can come through. But because it's coming through with this like this flower today, it's like something that seems like good luck, but maybe is actually not something that you want to go towards, is kind of how it's coming through here, especially because with the flattery card. I've been seeing this April energy is part of the flattery, where it's kind of like there's something here about like perhaps someone being kind to you, but is not honest, right? They're presenting something perhaps that is like has potential for a lot of benefit, but it's like the reason why that they're presenting all this benefit, all this like positive good luck energy, is because they actually need something from you, is what's coming through here. It's like you know those memes of like people who are like trying to get you to sign a contract, right? Trying to get you to sign a contract of some sort so that you're locked into whatever it is that they need from you, right? So it could be resources, it could be whatever it is. And so here with this April card, the story that was coming through here, there's this fantasy series. The first book is called A Deadly Education. And in this story, it's about sort of like this school that trains people with magic, but these children with magical abilities are hunted by monsters, right? So up until a certain age, they're very vulnerable to certain like monstrous energies. Let's call it like that. And so they're all put in this school in order to train until they reach an appropriate age where they can be out in the world safely. That's basically the premise of the story. But in this school, right, so it's basically like the kids fend for themselves. They learn magic because of the school that provides lessons and all that. But there's this one part, but it's kind of like a very horrible environment to be in, is what is the setup of that story. I know this is a bit of a tangent, but there's one scene in that story where there's this auditorium, and the main character in the story ends up accidentally fixing or exposing an aspect of the auditorium that had this sort of like mural. It was a mural of cherry blossoms, right? So it what this card is telling me is that there may be somebody or something presenting sort of a very like beautiful mural or something like that, like a mirage or an image or whatever or something. But it's actually such a shocking juxtaposition to the reality of what it is that they're going through. Like, because even though it was such a pretty picture, it was like the main character actually found it very disturbing, because they were in a school where they were being like hunted by monsters every day, and then in the auditorium it was like this beautiful mural of like cherry blossoms, right? So it's really interesting, because it's kind of like maybe you're seeing that, Pisces, that whatever the situation was from a distance, right? It kind of feels like there's some sort of like you're seeing the monsters behind this beautiful mural that was projected, perhaps. It's kind of, it's coming through like that, where it's like you've left this situation and it's like all of a sudden you're seeing that this mural was just covering up some sort of tower energy, maybe. So, anyways, because what's coming through next here, you have the High Priestess, which is talking about that I feel like whatever this situation is, it's kind of like they wanted you to sign a contract, is what this is talking about. And perhaps you are like out of that now, or you've cut ties with something. And it's like, because this card, the High Priestess, I see as being like Ursula from The Little Mermaid, where there's this part like that energy has a song in that movie where she openly admits to finding people who are at their worst and getting things out of that, right? It's like that, so that it could be something like that. I'm not necessarily talking about a person, Pisces, but it's kind of like there's something about this energy where it's like in order to get something that they want, they use or they target perhaps people's heartbreak, for example, right? Like, I'll give you what you want. In exchange, you have to give me something that is treasure to you, right? So it's kind of coming through with that energy, right? It's like, I'll give you all of these benefits, but in exchange, you have to give me something that is treasure to you. So I feel like you are seeing that, Pisces, but it's really interesting because it's coming out here with the Charity card, right? It's like, I feel like this is you, and this is like your guides trying to get you to move past this and don't look back. Don't look back at what it is that you've left behind, because what it is that is coming through here is that I feel like they may be almost like pulling on your heartstrings a little bit, because you have here the Two of Cups. Because I feel like this whatever this situation was, it doesn't have to be a person, right? It could just be like a situation or whatever. It was a Two of Cups at some point earlier, right? It's like it was a match to you at some point, but perhaps because you've shifted away from that energy, it's like it's no longer a match to you. But with the Charity card, it's kind of coming through as like, it's like presenting some sort of temptation to assist this one, because whatever it is that they're going through is a struggle for them. In whatever way that is, right? They're struggling with something, and it's causing this energy. Here you have the indecision and the Forest, which says muddled, unclear thinking. With the indecision card, right? Like feeling uncertain about your choice to leave this energy behind, because they were a Two of Cups at some point, or they were somebody that you care about. And so it's like, because they're struggling, it's like, should I go back and help them? And of course, no one can answer. That's totally a decision for you, Pisces. But what's coming through here is that because it's coming through with this sort of temptation energy, it's kind of like you may be struggling a bit with, like, here with the Ten of Swords. I see this more as like a Ten of Wands kind of energy, like a lot of burden, because it's kind of like, let's say you put up boundaries between yourself and somebody else, right? Like saying, okay, I'm drawing a line here. I'm not allowing this energy into my space for whatever reason. And it's kind of like, if you do that, which is absolutely necessary for people to have sort of healthy functioning within self, right? Like to set boundaries with people. If that person now gets angry at you or tries to get you to lower your boundaries or to compromise on some aspect of your whatever it is, right? They're saying like, right, they get angry or they lash out at you, like how can you leave me like this, that kind of thing. That's showing you that they're dependent on your energy in some way, right? So that's kind of where this is coming through with this indecision. It's like, yes, obviously you would want to help somebody who is struggling or who is in pain or whatever. But it feels like to me, Pisces, that you put up this boundary for a reason, right? You put up a boundary for a reason, and it might be difficult to show strength and fortitude in terms of maintaining that boundary. It's like this energy is trying to call you back into their space, but you put up a boundary for a reason. And it's like, remember that reason, right? Because it's kind of like, I see this card as being like death by a million paper cuts, right? Each individual wound is not enough to sort of be a deal breaker, right? Like, it's like you get a paper cut, no big deal, right? That happens. But it's kind of like every time you engage with this energy, you get multiple paper cuts in the same area to the point where it just becomes such a overwhelming kind of like pain, even if it's little, even if it's quote unquote small, a small issue, a small injury. It's repeated. It hasn't changed in the time that you've known this person or this situation, and it's like become a burden, actually, is what this is talking about. And so it's talking about like maintaining your boundaries, Pisces. Okay, anyways, sorry, the last card to come out here, you have the Shield. It says you need to defend yourself. And then the Independence card and the Magician, which is what I feel like is the guidance for you if you choose to do this, if this message is resonating with you. It's like defending your boundaries, but also it's talking about like doing things independently, because whatever this energy is, the Magician, I see this as being sort of like being in transition from one thing into another, right? Because it kind of looks like an airplane to me, where it's like you're moving from point A to point B, and in that transition there's a bit of discomfort because you're kind of in a confined space. There's not a lot of freedom to move. You just kind of have to be patient while you move from point A to point B. So I feel like that's where you are right now, and it's like, stick with it, right? It does take sort of work and effort in order to be in this new energy, right? It's like when you're making new habits, it takes, I don't know, people say like 21 days for a habit to become a habit, right? To like develop something more long term. I feel like that's just an arbitrary number. I'm not saying 21 days is like, it depends on the person. It depends on what habit it is you're trying to build, right? It could be something like that. So I feel like this reading is just trying to give you encouragement to keep going towards what it was that you were building, and just be aware that there may be sort of like energies that are trying to call you back into an older space, right? Like an older energy, a past thing that you're leaving behind, something that's no longer serving you, perhaps by pulling on your heartstrings, or like using emotional energy to try and get you to lower your standards or to lower your boundaries, right? Because they need something from you is what's coming through here. But it's saying to defend yourself, right? Okay, Pisces. I'm going to end it there. You are moving towards all of this new ace energy, though. Like, don't forget that. So I'm going to leave it there. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can check the description box. You'll find my website. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. It helps so much. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.